Hi, gang, it's Adam.
And Patrick.
Coming up on today's episode, we celebrate our 150th episode with a Questions and Peter Panswers segment. That's right, we're answering Tweedle-submitted questions. As always, we cover the latest Disney news and close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Patrick Sasquicentennial Kazuki.
I don't know if that's a word, but I will go with it. Adam Conundrum Hummel.
I like that.
It's like your superpower name.
The Conundrum.
The most confusing Caped Crusader ever.
Before we continue, Patrick, let me just say, happy 150th episode to you.
And also with you, good sir.
Thank you so much. How does it feel?
It feels like moist a little, a little rocky. So good, bumpy, wet, and rocky.
Like a normal GDTD episode.
There's nothing normal about a GDTD episode. Let's be very clear.
Say that, Patrick. Say it.
Listen up, kids. We are off the walls bonkers. You know, that's why you keep coming back 150 times, apparently.
That's right.
And how is 150 treating you, sir?
I feel fantastic, Patrick. I feel 150 and fabulous.
I'm 30 and flirty and 150 and thrifty. Is that how it goes?
That's exactly how it goes. Yeah, I love it. Anytime you can rhyme, go for it.
That's what I always say.
Well, Patrick, there's no better way to kick off an episode, and in particular, our 150th episode, than by welcoming a new Patreon family member to the group.
There is literally no better way. Not even cake would top getting a new Patreon member.
Rethinking it.
For me, not even cake would top this. But Adam needs a piece of cake, you know? It's just that simple.
For me, it's cake and then new Patreon member. Patrick, who is the new Patreon family member?
Jeff has just joined our Patreon family. Jeff, thank you so much. You are a superhero to us.
Yes, Jeff, we are so grateful that you took the time and you're throwing a little cash our way, and we sincerely appreciate that, as we do with all of our Patreon family members. So grateful.
We really appreciate it. It goes to cake, really, is what it does for us.
So much cake. And Patrick, on top of Jeff joining, we had another Patreon family member, Ben, write in to kind of sell other Tweedles who may be considering joining.
That's right. Ben wrote into us, honking our horns, as it were.
It was consensual honks, for sure.
It's always consensual. It's just an open invitation on my end.
Ben wrote in talking about our Patreon-only episodes, Raw and Uncut, saying, I've binged a lot of Raw and Uncut things in my time. Oh, Ben, but nothing quite as lovely as your Patreon episodes. I devoured them all on a recent trip, and you boys had me in stitches. Excited for more, and I would highly encourage any Tweedles who have been thinking about it to hop on in and join the Patreon family.
Wow, thank you, Ben. This actually encourages me to do more Patreon-only member episodes. We've been slacking a little bit, wouldn't you say, Adam?
It's an issue for sure, and it's not because we don't love you. It's because we're very glamorous and lead very glamorous lives.
It's true. We are far too busy bathing in our warm hot tubs. That's not true. We don't have hot tubs, but we're trying to. That's why we need to do more Patreon episodes. We're trying to buy some hot tubs.
That's exactly right. We need those hot tubs. So, Patrick, how can you and I get those hot tubs faster?
I'll tell you how, Adam. It's by every single listener out there who is not already a Patreon member heading on over to gaysdothed.com, clicking on that donate button, where you'll be directed to our Patreon page, where, say it with me, everybody, for as little as $1 reoccurring a month, you too can join the ranks of our Patreon family.
$1. That's it. This is our Sally Struthers moment. For less than a cup of coffee a month, you too can be a Patreon family member.
That's right. You can either feed a family or buy us cake. You know, the choice is yours.
We know what choice you should make.
It's always cake. It's always cake.
Cake and hot tubs, yes.
Cake and hot tubs. And in return for becoming a Patreon member, you get, as Ben has pointed out, extra special Gays Do the D episodes only for you called Gays Do the D Raw and Uncut.
Raw and uncut. Yeah.
Ooh, spicy. I like it.
I was listening to some early aughts pop this morning, and so I'm feeling those kind of like sounds.
You ought to not do that anymore, I think.
I can't stop, baby.
We wish you would. We wish you would. But we thank you sincerely, Ben. We thank you sincerely, Jeff. We thank you to all of our Patreon members. And as we said, if you want to become a member of that family, gaysdothed.com, click on the donate button.
That's where it all starts. Patrick, before we move on, we have some sad news to report. Pam Brody passed away, and many of our Tweedles may not even know who Pam Brody was, but she was a longtime pianist and entertainer at Epcot's Rose and Crown Pub. She passed away on July 11th.
Nicknamed the Button Lady for her extravagant outfits. If you haven't had the joy of meeting Pam in the past, go and look her up online. She was a gem of a human being, an icon in the park, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. She was kind of this Walt Disney World era where there were a lot more non-IP based performers in the parks, and she was a personality in her own right and an entertainer. And as I said, she would perform at the Rose and Crown Pub for all of the guests who thoroughly enjoyed her. She was quite the personality. I had the opportunity to see her. I think it was twice. I was just a little Adam back in the day, but I remember going to Rose and Crown, and this raucous lady was playing the piano, and I just adored her. So Pam, we will absolutely miss you. Patrick, she worked at Walt Disney World for over 20 years.
Over 20 years. And even after she retired, she would often go back to Epcot and play once in a while just for special occasions, like on her birthday every year.
Yeah, that really speaks to like cast members feeling like a part of a Disney family and wanting to go back even after all that time and feeling like it was home for them too, not just for the guests.
It's true. It's true. Disney really is a family, specifically Disney World. I think there are so many personalities there that people do consider part of their family, and Pam will absolutely be missed from our family.
But we know she's tickling those ivories up in heaven.
Always and forever. Thank you, Pam, for your gifts. You will be missed.
All right, Patrick, let's jump back to last week's episode, shall we?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's turn the ship around and talk about some more lighthearted items today.
If you'll recall, Tweedles, in last week's episode, we gave our spoiler-free review of Disney and Marvel's Black Widow. And Patrick, it seems like the movies are back, at least for Disney and Marvel, because Black Widow surpassed $215 million between box office and Disney Plus Premier Access in its opening weekend.
It's absolutely true. And though this was not hard to do this year, it did break the box office records this year specifically for pre-sales as well.
Very exciting to hear that. And it always feels good when a deserving movie earns that amount of money. And Black Widow, as you heard in our last week's episode, was an enjoyable film. We both agreed on that.
We both did indeed. The more I think about it, the more I really like it. And I want to see it again. I can't wait to see it again.
Yeah, it's a repeat watcher for sure.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of which, we had some Tweedles write into us with their thoughts on Black Widow. Let's jump into that, shall we?
Let's do it. Ben sent us an email saying, easily my favorite Marvel movie dedicated to a single Avenger. The story was great and never once felt slow. The action scenes were great and the entire cast was just top notch. Excited to see Florence return for more Marvel outings in the future.
Aren't we all? We all fell in love with her, didn't we?
I know I did. Sent her some letters.
Many, many letters, Adam. Adam, you're the only one still writing letters, I think.
They're more personal. She hasn't responded. Whatever.
Personal, creepy, choose your own. Choose your own. Moving on, we have Cricket writing into us from Instagram at AkioPixie319. Cricket says, my daughter and I saw it in the theater and really loved it. I agree with all your points and wanted to add that the opening credits were really impactful with the visuals and choice of song. While the humorous moments in the movie are well done, the opener sets a bit of a darker tone for the rest of the movie. I don't want to spoil anything, but it reminded me that women can can be numb to the mentality that we can be seen by some men as unimportant and inconsequential. So the subsequent fight scenes where Natasha, Elena, and all the widows kick ass and mentally outsmart their opponents are not just typical woohoo Marvel action scenes. It's a real death to the patriarchy vibe that works. Unlike the Lady Avengers assemble shot during Endgame, which gives me chills every time, but also feels contrived at the same time, if that's possible. It is possible. The Black Widow filmmakers did a great job overall, and we left the theater feeling entertained and empowered. Definitely in my top 5 MCU movies. Thank you for your review and your podcast. Always a bright light on a Monday morning. Purple heart emoji, little twinkling stars emoji.
Thank you, Cricket. That's such a thoughtful review, and it's so great to hear from a woman about her perspective watching this movie. I love leaving a theater feeling empowered.
Yeah, absolutely. That is such a great comparison to that scene in, I think we all know what we're talking about, in Endgame when all of the women sort of get together. It was really powerful and badass, but it did. If I'm thinking about it right, it did seem a little forced, where this felt like a full-on up with women movie, really.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 great Tweedle reviews of Black Widow. We're excited to see where this movie spins off to. We kind of have some ideas already. We mentioned in last week's episode, we know there's going to be a Hawkeye connection coming up. So very exciting, Patrick.
Very, very exciting. Well, speaking of movies, let's transition right over, Adam, to the new Disney and Pixar Turning Red teaser trailer that just dropped.
Oh, Patrick, they had me at Backstreet Boys.
Really, really, they did. That as soon as that song came in, I was like, oh, I see you, and you see me, and we're in it together now.
Yeah, you know how sometimes they use songs like that, and you're like, okay, I see what you're doing. It's kind of embarrassing, though. This one works perfectly, seems to really fit with the mood of the movie. Granted, it is just a teaser, so we don't know a ton. We just know that there's a little girl who transforms into a giant panda when she experiences extreme emotion.
That's right. A giant red panda, in fact. It looks absolutely adorable and hysterical. I can't wait to learn more about this mother character that we're getting a glimpse of. She looks absolutely fascinating and so funny. And what a fun multicultural movie, really, it seems.
Yeah, set in Canada.
Set in Canada, as Adam likes to pronounce it.
If there's not a Celine Dion song, missed opportunity, Disney and Pixar.
It's true. What a delight. Well, speaking of trailers, also the Behind the Attraction trailer dropped for the new Disney Plus TV show. We should talk about that a little bit, too.
Yes, it premieres on Disney Plus this Wednesday, July 21st, with 5 episodes at launch, and then 5 additional episodes will be coming later this year. Patrick, how you feeling about this new series?
It looks really fun. It looks like they're actually speaking to Disney fanatics with this one. Do you know what I mean? It's not taking itself too seriously, but it's giving us a lot of fun and just Disney candy, really.
You know what it feels like to me is the I Love the 90s or I Love the 80s series from VH1. Like, it was very much kind of in that vein.
Yeah, for sure. Very that. It felt very fast-paced, almost like a pop-up video kind of a situation. It looks a lot of fun.
Yep, love that. Narrated by Paget Brewster, who I adore. If you're a fan of Drunk History, Paget has made a couple of appearances on there, just absolutely sloshed, and she's delightful.
She is wonderful, and she has a great voice. I want her to, read books to me.
Yeah, while you're in bed, just all snuggled up.
Exactly. All snuggled up in the nude, just listening to her voice. You know what I mean?
Patrick, is there one attraction that you're most looking forward to learning more about?
You know what? Actually, strangely, I really love hearing more about, and I'm excited about the history of It's a Small World. It seemed like they teased that quite heavily in this one, and I imagine there's so much behind that attraction that we have not uncovered yet, and we're going to learn more about.
Yeah, it's seemingly a very kind of simple, thematically anyway, ride, right? So it'll be interesting to kind of get more of the history and the development of that attraction.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you? Is there a favorite that you're waiting for with anticipation?
I'm curious to hear what they're going to say about the Jungle Cruise, which I'm assuming is the first episode, given that the new live-action Jungle Cruise is coming out the following week. And then, of course, Patrick, Haunted Mansion, come on.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that one for sure. Yes, to the Jungle Cruise. I'm also very excited to learn more about the castles as well. There was a fun little nod to the fact that everyone kind of laughs when they see the Disneyland castle after having gone to Disney World because it looks so teeny tiny.
When you watch these types of shows, do you ever get a little bit anxious because you don't want to learn too much that might spoil the magic?
I know what you're talking about. That's not me at all. I love knowing the behind the magic secrets, and it makes the trick even more delightful when I know what they're doing, because sometimes it's so simple and yet it's executed so well that it blows my mind every time.
Sometimes I get a little nervous, Patrick.
I know you are one who does not like to have the magic ruined.
I know, Patrick, that, there are certain technical elements at play, and I can even kind of guess in my mind what they are, but I just don't want to actually know,
I do know, but I don't agree with you.
No, I'm excited for this series. I think it's going to be fantastic. And, we've been craving something that's a little bit more backstagey since The Imagineering Story, which premiered last year. So it's about time, Disney, you deliver on more of these kind of parks-based experience shows.
Yes, absolutely. And as you said, that premieres this Wednesday, July 21st. And I don't believe we mentioned that Turning Red will come to theaters in spring of 2022. So we have a bit of time to wait for that one.
Turning Red is such relatable content, Patrick, because every time there's even a twinkle of sunlight, I turn red.
Yeah, I'm very porcelain. I go to the mailbox and get a sunburn.
Porcelain? You're such a Victorian.
I'm ailing. You know what I mean? Like I'm just I need my smelling salts.
Your humors are off.
I need my vapors.
Before we move on, Patrick, to This Week in Disney History, we just want to mention briefly that this week, Wednesday, July 21st, it begins, Patrick, the same day as the premiere of Behind the Attraction. We are having a merch sale that's up to 35% off. That means $13 tees, $20 phone cases, $30 hoodies, and more on our website, gazetothed.com. You just click on that merch tab, and you can score some deals.
I think I'm going to have to snatch up some hoodies. I need some new hoodies with our new logo on it.
Fall is approaching, people. I know it's hot and sultry out right now, but fall will be coming. Despite climate change, yes, it will. So you may want a hoodie or two.
Or 3 or 4.
And when you make those purchases, currently, all of the proceeds that we receive benefit the LGBTQ Freedom Fund. In fact, we're in the last 2 weeks of the LGBTQ Freedom Fund receiving our proceeds. Patrick, tell us about the LGBTQ Freedom Fund.
Oh, thank you so much for setting that up for me. So the LGBTQ Freedom Fund pays bail to secure the safety and liberty of individuals in U.S. jails and immigration facilities. They also work to build a critical mass against the mass detention of LGBTQ people who are disproportionately incarcerated right now and always have been. So this is an excellent cause to learn more about and to donate to. And if you want to donate directly to them or to learn more about them, head on over to lgbtqfund.org. And as Adam said, 100% of the proceeds that we receive from sales of our merch will go directly to the LGBTQ Freedom Fund.
So make some purchases. You need some things.
You need some fangs. You need some tees to turn into cut-off tees. You need some hoodies to turn into cut-off hoodies,
Regardless, you got to cut them off.
You simply must.
And now, Patrick, finally, we've reached This Week in Disney History.
I mean, it's about time, isn't it, everybody? Let's open the history vaults, shall we? 71 years ago, Adam, on July 19th, 1950, Treasure Island was released in both the US and the UK, starring Robert Newton as Long John Silver. Now, Treasure Island was originally going to be a fully animated movie. However, Instead, it became Disney's first ever live-action movie with absolutely no animation. Now, interestingly, it was also the first Disney film to be shot in the UK. Now, the reason for both of these firsts was at the time, Disney had stockpiled a substantial amount of money in the UK due to overseas sales of Disney products. And at that time, the law prevented the UK currency to be fully exchanged for US dollars. So Disney decided to use these otherwise frozen funds to produce Treasure Island in England.
So a live-action movie because of an in-store credit.
Exactly. That's exactly correct.
That's so interesting. I didn't know that. And so fascinating then that decades later, they produced Treasure Planet. They finally made that animated version of Treasure Island.
It's true. They finally got their wish, but we also got two great movies, I think. Moving on, incidentally, all of these were on July 19th today. So, 87 years ago, on July 19th, 1934, Disney signed a contract with the Lionel Corporation to produce a Mickey Mouse wind-up car. Now, what's interesting about this is that Lionel had been around since 1900, and due to the Great Depression, it was at the brink of bankruptcy until this contract. Mickey Mouse pulled the Lionel Corporation out of financial ruin and is widely thought of as the reason the Lionel Corporation exists today.
Mickey Mouse saved everyone, saved Disney, saved the Lionel Corporation.
What a hero. What a true hero.
A real workhorse, work mouse, whatever you want to say. Wow, Mickey. Thank you, Mickey.
Thank you so much, Mickey Mouse. And moving on to our last item, 91 years ago on July 19th, 1930, Rhoda Williams was born in Denver, Colorado. Rhoda Williams was a radio voice actor for most of her career, with credits on almost every major radio program in the 1940s. And for Disney, she was the voice and model for Drizella in Cinderella. Mm-hmm. And now, interesting, for some Disney trivia that you can tell people the next time you're at Disney, she is also the voice of the mother and the daughter in the Carousel of Progress.
It's so interesting to learn about these voice actors who played such a pivotal role, not only in animated films, but also in attractions. And it's particularly interesting whenever we hear about the women, because I feel like a lot of times the women, as is kind of the case throughout history, we just don't know enough about them. So there's these great little connections. You know, we got Drizella in the animated film, and we've got the mother and daughter in Carousel of Progress.
Yeah, I agree. I always love learning about voice actors, especially ones that are in the park, because you hear them so often, mm-hmm. and so many times it's someone that we all kind of know, but just don't realize it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Fascinating, Patrick.
Thank you so much. And with that, we are closing the vault today on This Week in Disney History.
Closing that vault, shutting this segment down. Shut it down, people. We have to move on to the news.
And we happen to know the voice actors producing the news today as one Adam Conundrum Hummel and Patrick, I think you called me a Sasquatch.
Sasquicentennial? Is that what I said? Yeah.
I'm just hearing Sasquatch. Two new precious babies were born last week in Animal Kingdom, just one day apart. First up, a new baby gorilla was born to mother Azizi and father Gino. Azizi gave birth to her newest baby backstage, and the infant was introduced to the family and the rest of the troupe a few hours later. The baby is yet to be named. Azizi and Gino are also parents to the infant's big brother, Corey, who was born in 2014. And the following day, hippopotamus parents Tuma and Henry welcomed their new calf into the world. The new baby joins 9 other hippos in their bloat on the Safari River in the Kilimanjaro Safari. Neither the new baby gorilla nor the new hippo calf have been sexed or weighed yet, as they are still needing more time to bond with their mothers. Both are also a result of the species survival plan, overseen by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, to ensure the responsible breeding of vulnerable or critically endangered species, which includes the Nile hippopotamus and the western lowland gorillas. So welcome to the world, new baby gorilla and new baby hippo.
Welcome, babies. The pictures are adorable, almost unbearably so. I want to just murder them because both of the babies are so cute.
Yeah, they are far too cute for their own good. That baby hippo, I can't get enough. I can't get enough of pictures of it.
Yeah, Fiona, who, remember when Ohio had like that baby hippo named Fiona and like it was kind of a national sensation? Who cares, Fiona? You're an adult now. We have a new baby to fawn over.
Step aside. I do want a hippopotamus for Christmas, Adam.
You know, they're very vicious when they're adults, Patrick.
So am I. So am I.
Don't you find it a little bit odd that there was a gorilla born and then a hippo born in 2 days? Did Nostradamus ever say, like, if two baby animals be born at Disney's Animal Kingdom, the world shall end upon thee?
I think those are the exact words. In fact, those are the exact words. So, bye, everybody.
Bye! Last Tuesday, the nominations for the 73rd Annual Primetime Emmy Awards were announced, and the Walt Disney Company and its multitude of subsidiaries scored an impressive 166 nominations across 85 categories and 38 titles. Patrick, should we list all 166 nominations at this very moment?
Alphabetically.
Here we go. JK, let's talk highlights, shall we?
Yes, please.
Find that toaster in the tree. For the second year in a row, Disney Plus leads the way with Lucasfilm Limited's The Mandalorian, garnering 24 nominations, including Outstanding Drama Series and nominations for actors Giancarlo Esposito. I find his name so satisfying to say. Carl Weathers and Timothy Olyphant. Additionally, Disney Plus's limited Marvel Studios series WandaVision received 23 honors, including a nomination for Outstanding Limited or Anthology Series, and acting nominations in a limited or anthology series or movie for Outstanding Lead Actress for Elizabeth Olsen, Outstanding Lead Actor for Paul Bettany, and Outstanding Supporting Actress for Kathryn Hahn. Obvi, Patrick.
Outstanding.
Disney Plus's Hamilton garnered 12 nominations, including 2 nods for Outstanding Lead Actor Lin-Manuel Miranda and Leslie Odom Jr., as well as a nomination for Outstanding Variety Special Pre-Recorded. And Marvel Studios and Disney Plus's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was recognized with 5 nominations, including Don Cheadle's nod for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series, an appearance, Patrick, that lasted, no joke, for 98 seconds.
I've had a lot of things that only lasted 98 seconds, but I never got an award for it.
Might want to work on that endurance.
Yeah, note to self.
Cheadle actually made light of his nomination on an appearance on The Tonight Show, stating, quote, "It's like that concentrated orange juice. You just take a tablespoon and put it in water and stir it around, and it's Cheadle."
Okay. All right.
That's got to be a little bit embarrassing, right? To be on screen for 98 seconds and suddenly you're nominated. I would be like, that's silly, Academy.
I would be like, yes, agreed.
Oh, I like that confidence.
Thank you. Thank you.
In addition to all of the Disney Plus nominations, the Walt Disney Company owned Hulu, Nat Geo, FX, and ABC received multiple nominations. Hulu original The Handmaid's Tale netted a series best 21 nominations, including Outstanding Drama Series and a lead actress nod for Elizabeth Moss, making season 4 the most nominated season to date. Nat Geo scored 13 total nods, including Cynthia Erivo's critically acclaimed performance in Genius, Aretha. FX's Pose earned 10 nominations, including Outstanding Drama Series, as well as Outstanding Lead Actor for Billy Porter, and an historic, this is huge, first ever nomination for a transgender nominee for MJ Rodriguez as Outstanding Lead Actress. ABC's Blackish earned a show best of 6 nominations, including Outstanding Comedy Series and nods for Lead Actor Anthony Anderson and Lead Actress Tracy Ellis Ross. And it's important to note this is Anthony Anderson's 7th nomination, making him the most nominated Black actor in Emmy history in the lead actor in a comedy series category. The 73rd Primetime Emmy Awards, hosted by Cedric the Entertainer, remember him, will take place September 19th on CBS and Paramount Plus at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern.
I love it. Good job, Disney.
fascinating to know that last year at this time we reported that there were a couple of nods for The Mandalorian, and now Disney basically was the most nominated studio of any.
Yeah, it's safe to say that Disney is going to win the Emmys. You know, it's probably going to win an Emmy for the Emmys as well.
Oddly enough, Disney did produce the Oscars, and they're nominated for an Emmy for their production of the Oscars.
Something smells amiss there. We need to look into this.
Suspicious.
With Halloween a mere 3 months away, it is time to start thinking about the holiday season in Walt Disney World. That's right, Tweedles, we are officially halfway to the holidays. That's terrifying. Starting this November 12th, Walt Disney World will begin its 50th holiday celebration with festive entertainment, holiday decor, seasonal food and drinks, and more holiday merch than will fit in Santa's big red sack. Yeah, I said that. Moving on, not everything has been disclosed just yet, but here are a few things you can expect this year. In the Magic Kingdom, Main Street will once again deck its halls with festive decor, and Cinderella Castle will get a special holiday overlay projection on most nights, which will run in rep with the 50th anniversary Beacon of Magic display on the castle. A new holiday party will also be available, debuting on November 8th and running through December 21st. Guests can purchase a ticket to Disney Very Merriest After Hours. The After Hours event will include Minnie's wonderful Christmas-time fireworks, holiday music, special treats, and classic Disney character appearances. No word yet on pop-up appearances by Santa. No date has been set yet on ticket sales other than sometime this August. Over at Hollywood Studios, Sunset Seasons Greetings returns with the Hollywood Holiday Tower Hotel projection display. Say that 10 times fast. The show will alternate on select nights with, of course, the Beacon of Magic display. Santa will, in fact, be making pop-up appearances in Hollywood Studios with his own motorcade down Hollywood Boulevard. The Frozen Sing-Along celebration will also include a special holiday finale featuring the new most famous snowman in the world, Olaf. Bye, Frosty. And Minnie Mouse will once again host a special holiday meal with her besties at Hollywood and Vine. Animal Kingdom will once again get its holiday decor overlay throughout the park. Characters will dress in their holiday best for special flotillas on Discovery River, and the Tree of Life will implement a special holiday version of the Tree of Life Awakenings show. The Epcot International Festival of the Holidays will also be returning this year as a full-on festival, with holiday kitchens, special Voices of Liberty performances, and everyone's favorite cookie stroll. But no official word yet on whether or not the candlelight processional will be part of the festival. The Epcot International Festival of the Holidays will run from November 26th through December 30th. And last but not least, the Christmas tree stroll will also return to Disney Springs with specially themed Christmas tree displays, some of which will be inspired this year by the world's most magical celebration. So far, that is all that has been announced, and we will be sure to share any updates as they come down the chimney.
I'm really looking forward to the holidays this year. And so this is a really kind of exciting announcement, despite the fact that we're dealing with another after-hours party. Patrick.
It's true. They're not ready to fully commit to a full-on party yet.
Which holiday offering should you go for the holidays would you most enjoy?
Good question. I actually really love Animal Kingdom during the holidays, strangely. It's one of those really unique holiday decorations that it's a little more worldly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great choice.
Thank you so much. What about you?
I don't know.
Your excitement is palpable right now.
Gay Days Anaheim is a mere 2 months away, and last week the organizers announced the lineup of performers who will be performing, oh God, Adam, that was written so poorly, as part of the celebration taking place September 17th through September 19th. On Friday night, September 17th, Cheetah Rivera, that's right, you heard me, Cheetah Rivera, Broadway legend, Tony Award-winning Chita Rivera, will take to the stage for an intimate conversation with Chita Rivera, led by Broadway historian Eddie Shapiro. Proceeds will benefit Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. Following Chita, and let's face it, everyone follows Chita, Patrick, Gay Days will present an evening with Audra McDonald, starring Audra McDonald.
Huh. Okay. So she's one of the performers performing.
She's one of them. Yeah. RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12 queen, Jackie Cox, will be the weekend's host and will also be performing her show, Jackie Vision. I see what you did there, Jackie, to kick off the Kingdom Party on Saturday night, September 18th. And Sunday evening, September 19th, we'll see 2 additional RuPaul's Drag Race queens joining in on the fun. First, Season 11 queen, Miss Congeniality winner, and her most notable credit, guest on Gays Do the D, Nina West, will be returning to Gay Days with her show, The Wonderful World of Nina. And Season 12 and current All-Stars 6 queen, Jan Sport, better known as just Jan, will be performing her show, Jantasia. For more information on the weekend's events and to take advantage of discounted hotel rates and Disneyland and DCA park tickets, visit gaydaysanaheiminfo.com.
Love it. This is very exciting. They are upping their Gay Days game this year. I'm here for it.
Speaking to gays like us, Patrick, I mean, yes, there is the pool party. There's, dance parties, but Broadway legends and drag queens, that's right up my alley.
That is right up everyone's back alley for sure. I'm very excited about Chita Rivera. I had the pleasure of seeing her perform on stage. She is a queen. She's a queen among queens.
I don't know where that energy comes from. I certainly don't have it, and I'm only 42 years old.
42 years young, Adam. 42 years young.
Oh, Patrick.
I know. I'm placating you, of course.
I'll take it. As we promoted at the top of the episode, Patrick, it is our 150th episode.
150, y'all.
And I just want to start off this segment by saying thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I literally never thought we'd be here.
Thank you to our Tweedles for listening and supporting us. And thank you to you, Patrick, for joining me on this journey, this multi-year 150 episode journey.
You're very welcome, Adam. Thank you for not firing me yet.
You've brought this up before. I have no place firing you. I am not the boss.
I don't want that responsibility, so you are. You are, in fact, the head homo in charge.
The HHIC?
Is that okay to say? I don't know. I think this is our last episode now. We're getting shut down.
I just want to put your fears at bay. I am in fact a homosexual, Patrick.
You are? Wow. That was going to be my question for you on this segment.
I feel comfortable now after 150 episodes finally coming out to all of you right here on Gays Do the D that I am in fact a homosexual.
I love it. Let your gay hair down.
So for this special 150th episode, Patrick, and as we've been kind of begging for weeks, we have a questions and Peter Panswers segment. We asked you all to submit some questions for us. Disney questions, personal questions, compliments, drags, and you all did it. And Patrick, we even received some voice memos. Can you believe it?
I can believe it because you sent them to me and I was very excited. Thank you, everybody. This is one of my favorite things, is getting to put your voices on our podcast because I can't stand our voices.
No one can, really.
Well, some people can because we have learned that we have quite a few Tweedles out there who have stuck with us from the very beginning. 150 episodes deep now.
Amazing. Just amazing. Thank you again. So we have a lot of questions to get through. This is going to be very, very fun. Patrick, do you want to ask the very first question in this segment?
I do not, but I will. I will do that, in fact, Adam. Let's start with a question about this very podcast, in fact, Adam, shall we? We have Garrett, who wrote into us from Instagram, Garrett M081. Garrett asks, how many versions of the name for the podcast did you guys go through before landing on GDTD?
My recollection, Patrick, is that we only really talked about Gays Do the D, or maybe Gays Do D. I think I suggested that, but that didn't really make sense, so we just went with Gays Do the D.
I'm actually quite certain that that's exactly how it happened. In fact, I don't even know if I was involved in deciding on the name, because I think I woke up one day to a text from you saying, hey, what do you think of Gays Do the D as a podcast? And I was like, great, let's do it.
I believe I said, as head homo in charge, we're calling this Gays Do the D.
Indeed. Indeed, you did. To be quite frank, I'm still not sold on it, so This is at least version number 1 of the title of our show.
No, but seriously, do you ever think about maybe we should have gone with something else because maybe Disney would have been more like, okay, guys, that's better.
We did actually have that conversation way back when, but we were like, we're in it now, so we can't really change it.
We're so far in it, yeah.
We're just stubborn. We're stubborn about it. But yeah, it did strike us a little bit like, is this too far? Have we gone too far with this title? But I think it goes just far enough that it explains who we are right off the bat. So I think, you know what, Adam, I'll give you congratulations. I think it's a great title.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, you got to catch people's attention, right?
Indeed you do. And I'll be frank about it. Some people have given us a little flack for it. There have been some hateful messages on Instagram every once in a while. And to you, I say, delete.
I truly hope you do say delete as you delete them.
I do. I send them a message that says delete, and then I delete them.
Yeah, the messages are usually like, Walt would have never wanted this, or something about that, or there's some kind of like religious tie to it, and I'm like, ugh, bye, Felicia. I was the first to say that, by the way.
You were the very first one. Yeah, there have been some messages about like this is a place for families, and you guys are filthy, and you know what? We are a family. You guys are all of our family. We are part of the family. So delete.
And we are filthy. They got that part right.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't bathed in weeks.
All right, Garrett, thank you so much for that question. Moving on, Patrick, let's head to a question from Jared, who you can find on Instagram at jsquare3. Jared says, traditionally, the 25th anniversary gift is silver and the 50th anniversary gift is gold. What is the traditional 150th anniversary gift, and what are you getting each other?
Ooh, great question. Adam, what are you getting me?
I'm getting you my life insurance policy.
It's not worth a lot, but thank you.
It's not worth a lot. I'm sorry. I just bought a house. Things are looking bleak, but I want this for you. I want to share it with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My gift to you, Adam, is going to be, I'm actually adding a statue to the 50 statues in Walt Disney World. And it's going to be, those wax molds that you can do of couples' hands together?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just going to be both of my feet holding each other as though they were hands.
Wow, someone's really going to be into that.
Yeah. And I'm selling it on my OnlyFans.
What's the Snapchat filter for that going to be?
Oh, it's going to be gross. It's going to be gross.
And what's the traditional 150th anniversary gift, Patrick? Probably like rat poison.
I think it's latex. Latex is the item. Yeah.
Okay, so within one question, you've brought up feet and latex. You are speaking directly to at least one of our listeners who is so into this moment.
Oh, I hope it's not that person who I had to delete. I hope they're not listening, because now we are filthy. I've proved that person correct.
Jared, thank you so much for your question. We sincerely appreciate it. Patrick, where are we going next?
We're heading overseas, Adam. We are going to answer a question from our good friend Juan, who is on Instagram at Jedi Trousers. Juan asks, if you could take the place of any Disney princess and live their story, which would it be, and what would you do differently?
Wow, that's a great question, Juan.
Isn't it just? I think we all know.
Oh, here we go. Yep.
That I am going to be Rapunzel. obviously. And what I would do differently is once I had Flynn tied up on a chair in that room, I'd make some different choices. I think we all know what I'm saying here. We never would have left that tower.
That tower would have been a rockin', don't come a knockin'.
It's true. It's very true. It's very true. But the frying pan would have been used still.
I'm proud of you for vocalizing that kink.
It's a safe space. This is a safe space today, everybody.
Yes, this is not being recorded for posterity. No one will ever listen to this episode. Patrick is into frying pans and really any kitchenware.
Yep. I really am. I'm into the whole home department, actually.
What princess story would I want to live? And what would I do differently? Oh my gosh. This may be a little too obvious, but I think I'd be Pocahontas, okay?
Interesting. Okay.
And I think I just would have gone with Cocoam.
Yeah. The entire listening community just went, yas.
I mean, not only is the hotness factor greatly increased over John Smith, but, steady was Cocoam, and I think that's truly what I need in my life.
Yeah, he was steady as the beating drum.
Yeah, so Pocahontas, Cocoam, you're Rapunzel, with Flynn Rider. Maybe we could double date. I don't know.
How cute. Let's go to the drive-in.
So cute. I love this for us.
I like that yours would be, should I marry Cocoam? Yas. And the song ends. The song just ends right there.
Yes, that should also be a t-shirt. Yes, obviously. Marry Cocoam. Duh.
I like it.
Moving on, Patrick, should we take a voice memo?
Let's do.
All right, our very first voice memo for this episode comes from Daniel, who you can find on Instagram at DanCoDirect. And here is what Daniel asks.
Hey, Adam and Patrick. This is Daniel calling from Los Angeles. Congratulations on your upcoming 150th episode. That's super exciting. What a milestone. And I'm pretty sure I've listened to all 150 episodes, which, makes me a gold star gay. And just a random question, quick tea question for both of you. So I've already seen people talk about on Twitter and such how Disney World needs to convert the Italy Pavilion to an homage to Luca. And so my question for you is, if you were going to design a Luca dark ride, which of course you should do, what would be involved? So, happy 150th!
What a great question, Daniel. Patrick, a Luca dark ride in the Italy Pavilion at Epcot. What's that story going to be?
Ooh, I don't know. Here's what I want to happen in it, though. I want them to take some of those special effects that they are improving upon, like in the Haunted Mansion, and you go by a mirror or something, and you get to see what you would look like as a sea monster.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be so fun. I think I've got an idea for a dark ride.
Okay, tell me.
What if it was centered only around Machiavelli the cat?
I would be absolutely into that.
Just these beautiful scenes, maybe reenactments from the movie, and then you just see Machiavelli just kind of slowly rise up and you hear that low and then he just slowly goes back down.
Super into it. Or maybe part of the game is that you have to find Machiavelli in each scene.
There's so many Machiavellis, you have to catch them all, yes. And then at the end of the ride, there's Machiavelli merch.
So much Machiavelli merch. And you can, just like in Pandora, you can create your own sea monster that looks like you.
Oh, that's a great idea too. Disney, what are you doing? We're giving you all these great ideas and you're not even listening.
Oh, they're listening. Let's be very clear.
Daniel, that was a great question. If there's any Tweedles out there who have any other ideas of what a Luca dark ride would look like, send them our way.
Send them our way. Yes, thank you, Daniel. We know him. We know Daniel.
We actually had a meal with Daniel at Lamplight Lounge in DCA. Daniel is an absolute delight.
He is. He is a treat to behold. Here's an interesting question coming up next from one of our Patreon members, Kel S. Kel wrote into us with a number of questions, actually. I'm going to choose this one. Kel asks, do you ever feel like you need a break from Disney?
Ooh, Kel, this is interesting. I'm going to say yes. there are times when I have needed a break, and it's not so much from like going to Disney, although I will say, and I have said on the podcast before, by the time I'm at the end of a Disney trip, I'm like, okay, I feel good about that. I can take some time off. I know a lot of people are like, I need to go back immediately, but usually I'm feeling it physically, I'm feeling it mentally, I'm ready to go home. But I think more than anything, sometimes I just need a break from Disney news. And that's why it's nice to take a break from the podcast every so often, because Patrick and I are constantly inundated with Disney news, not only reading it, getting it on Twitter, focusing on Disney websites, but also some of the Tweedles will actually send us news items because they know that we talk about the news in the podcast. And so it's a lot of information we're taking in on a weekly basis. And so sometimes it's nice to just sit back and take a little break from the deluge of Disney news on a week-to-week basis.
Adam hates Disney.
That's not what I said. Patrick, were you even listening to what I said? Oh my gosh, 150 and we're done.
No, I was not listening, of course. I was not listening. I would say, here's how I'll answer that. I don't know that I necessarily need a specific Disney break, but I do enjoy vacations that are not Disney related. You know what I mean? And when those happen, I definitely like turn off my Disney mind. That's for sure. You know, Adam and I contain multitudes. We don't just love Disney, right? Like there are so many other genres in our lives that we could have podcasts about, right? We both love cake, obviously.
Yes.
I'm a big horror movie fan, which doesn't really lend well to Disney. So I take a break from Disney by going to see other movies and things like that. So yeah, I think that we turn it off sometimes, and we certainly turn it on at least once a week.
Yeah, I think we have a healthy relationship with Disney, right? Like it's not a complete obsession. We are able to walk away from it every now and again, but we are ardent Disney fans. But Patrick's absolutely right. I mean, you gotta, set it free. And if it comes back to you, then you know it's true love.
One of these days, it's not going to come back to us, and it's going to be...
Or it's going to be too expensive, and we're going to be like, oh, okay, bye.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was a great question, Kel, and I would be interested, again, in hearing from our Tweedles. Do you ever need a break from Disney? That's a good point. Is it healthy to take a break? Sure it is. Take a break every once in a while.
But not from us. Don't take a break from us.
No, if you do that, then you are unhealthy.
And we will know about it, to be clear.
And we will hunt you down. Moving on, Patrick, we have a question from Kim, who you can find on Instagram at Kim Chi. Kim asks, can you all roast me and then say something nice right after?
I'm not good at roasting people. I'm not going to lie about it. My things are just mean. I'm just mean to people. I don't roast them.
That's fine. Go ahead. Just be mean to Kim for a second and then say something nice.
Okay, here's what I'll say. Kim, how very dare you have that really attractive boyfriend? Is that your boyfriend on your Instagram page? Because he's fine. He's fine.
That was so mean.
What a roast. Oh, what about you, Adam? How are you going to roast Kim? I'm going to roast Kim by stealing her boyfriend. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, that's the ultimate roast.
Yeah. You burnt.
I'm going to say, Kim, you think you're a fall, but you're actually a spring.
Reconsider that color palette.
Reconsider all of it, Kim. And I'll also say, if you ever come up to my man in the club again, I will eat your babies.
Aggressive. I don't think that's a roast. That's a threat, Adam. That's different.
I clearly don't understand what a roast is.
Okay, great. I kind of want some roasted corn right now, though.
Who are you, Carol Channing?
Well, corn.
I need to say something nice about Kim. Oh. Kim, your Instagram is lovely. And I also will say thank you so much for supporting the podcast for so long. I know that's kind of an nice thing to say, but you've been so sweet to us and we really do love you.
It's true. You should all, in fact, follow Kim Chi on Instagram, KIMMMCHEE. She has a lovely, lovely Instagram.
And stay away from my man.
And stay away from Adam's man, but bring her man to my arms,
That's probably why Kim went after my man, because she doesn't have her man.
It's true. What if it's her brother or something?
Well, if it's her brother, Patrick, it certainly makes it easier for your relationship with Kim. No harm done.
Fair enough. There is something lovely about someone's hot older brother. You know what I mean? There's a fantasy there. Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's like, hey, little bro, like, let me take care of you. You know?
Okay, this crossed the line again. All right. That's clearly not what I meant, but let's move on. Let's pick our next question from one of our old school Atlanta Ds, Adam, one of the Steamboat Willies, Mark, who asks, who would you want to play you in a movie about your life, and what genre would your movie be?
That's a great question, Mark. And this is one I've thought about often, and I always come back to now dead actor Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, okay.
I just always felt like physically, I don't know, maybe Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's probably too good of an actor to portray my life story because there's not that much interesting to explore there. But Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I like it. Disagree. You have a very interesting life. I'm in it, so that's pretty interesting.
What a compliment for yourself.
Thank you. What genre would your movie be?
Torture porn? Just like a really upsetting, torture-y horror movie.
Like a Saw situation?
Definitely a Saw situation, yes.
Got it. Fascinating. That's troublesome, Adam. That's troublesome.
Learning about each other. Patrick, who would play you and what genre would your movie be?
I've really never given this any thought because I don't think anyone can really capture all that is me.
Okay. First of all, Patrick, physically, we know who would portray you. We've known for years and years and years.
That's right. Felicia Rashad.
That's not true. James McAvoy.
See, not everyone says that. A lot of people say that. I have never seen it. I've never seen the connection between me and James McAvoy. Thank you for that. But because he is fine, but I don't see it. But okay, he can play me in a movie.
Specifically, James McAvoy as Mr. Tumnus.
I do have hooves. And maybe that's my movie genre as well. It's fantasy.
Trust me, if anyone can say that you're living in a fantasy, it's me, your best friend.
Yeah, it's true. Well, you know what? If this is my fantasy, then I have dreamed incorrectly. I'm not doing it right.
What a mess you've established for yourself. This is your fantasy, Patrick.
Oh, no. Okay, so yeah, it'll be me played by James McAvoy in the Mr. Tumnus outfit.
I'd see that movie for sure.
Coming to a theater near no one.
Great question, Mark. Thank you so much for submitting that. Moving on, Patrick, we head to Allie, who you can find on Instagram at Allie_joy_W. Allie asks, how did you two meet and become friends? Maybe you two have told this story before on an episode, but I cannot remember if you have. We have. I think we've actually answered this question probably in a previous Questions and Peter Panswers episode.
I think so. We may have actually even answered it in our very first episode.
Long story short, Patrick and I were introduced by mutual friends, Chris and Joe. We went out to dinner, and Patrick and I kind of bonded over the documentary Grey Gardens.
We did indeed. Yeah, we became fast friends, I would say. We started hanging out, just the two of us. We ditched our other friends.
Yeah, for sure.
And the bond has really been unbreakable, unfortunately.
Any regrets?
That bond is a big regret, actually.
Yeah, it's unbreakable. We've tried so many times, but it doesn't work.
It's vibranium, really.
Thank you for that question, Allie. To anyone else out there, I dare you to try to split us up. I dare you.
Please try. Someone please try. Well, let's move on to another voice memo, shall we?
Yes, let's do that.
Let's listen to Mason's voice memo. Mason is on Instagram, MJHess89.
Adam, Patrick, it's your friendly neighborhood trans man, Mason. I have a question for Questions in Peter Panswers. So let's say tomorrow, Disney World approaches Gays Do the D and asks them, hey guys, would you design us a villain's ride? What would you absolutely have to put in there, and what would you absolutely have to keep out? Congratulations again on 150 episodes. Keep up the great work. We love ya.
Mason, we love you too. You sound delightful. You should have your own podcast.
Agreed. Mason, you should absolutely have your own podcast. You should create one immediately. Patrick, A Villain's Ride. What are we doing?
What are we doing, Adam? That's such a great question. You know what popped into my head immediately that I think would be super fun is if there was like a POV Maleficent as the dragon ride.
Oh, so you're Maleficent as the dragon?
Yeah, it's sort of like an Avatar ride, but you're on Maleficent's dragon, or you are Maleficent's dragon.
That's a great idea. A flight of passage type ride where either you're on the dragon or you are the dragon.
Yeah, I feel like a villain's ride has to be like an adventure or a thrill of some kind if it's going to be a villain's. I don't want a villain's dark ride. I want a villain's like make you poop your pants ride.
That is an excellent idea. My first villain I jumped to was Maleficent. Maybe that's kind of an obvious choice, but she doesn't have enough representation in attractions in the parks. Like we have the Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough, obviously, but it would be so fun to have some kind of Maleficent coaster, maybe, or, you know, like I want to see like the green swirling smoke, and maybe you're going through briars that she created around the castle, like spinning through those. It'd be fun to have Maleficent as the star, and yeah, something thrilling for sure.
Yeah, I like this idea. We all know that we have been talking, as everyone has, for years and years and years about needing a villain's park specifically. That would be a great addition to that. I'm also thinking if we have a park and we need like a kid-friendly villain's ride, wouldn't it be cute if you could, like a Dumbo ride, only it's Ursula and her tentacles that you're flying up and down?
Oh, that's super cute.
Isn't it just? I'm a genius.
I'm surprised that doesn't already exist.
Wouldn't that be just delightful?
And then Mason asked, are there any villains that we should not include in a ride or attraction? Patrick, are there any villains that you're just not that hot on?
Good question. I don't think that Hans of the Southern Isles would make for a very good ride, I guess. I mean, he himself might be a very good ride, but I can't picture him having his own attraction.
Yeah, that's a good point. There are kind of some more boring I don't want to say he's boring, but if you're going to go villain, you got to go full villain, right? Like you want someone supremely evil and campy.
Campy is exactly what you need for a villain's ride.
I guess being a gay Disney podcast, we should say something like a ride that's a tribute to the queer-coded villains, or like it's a night in the discotheque that turns sour.
I like this. I like this idea.
Mason, that was a great question. And again, Tweedles, a villain's ride. Let us know your thoughts.
I like it. Thank you, Mason.
And with that, Patrick, we come to Dan's question, who can be found on Instagram, but we can't actually give out his Instagram handle because of his question, which is, so I'm actually going to propose in Disney World next year and wonder if you know of any great, unique spots that may be super magical, but not too cringe at which to propose.
Universal Studios. Right in front of that Velociraptor, you know?
Absolutely. Make it someplace memorable, and that's where you'll be.
No, that's a great question. We actually get a lot of people asking us advice about proposals and or romantic places. And I know that it's not a unique answer, but like it should be something that speaks to both of you, right? So it's hard for me to really answer this question without knowing enough about you. But I personally am not a crowds person, right? I don't like the idea of proposing in front of a crowd. For me, that is just for me. I really love watching when people do it, because I think it's an act of bravery to do it in front of a lot of people. It's just not my style. So if it were up to me, I would actually do it right away, in maybe even in your hotel room or before your park stay starts, so you can have the rest of the day to enjoy being engaged. So you're not thinking about it all morning or afternoon. You know what I mean? So you're not like nervous about it. You just do it right away in the morning before you go, and then the whole rest of your day is about you.
That's a great point, Patrick. Gives you more time to celebrate after the yes answer, which you'll absolutely receive. Dan, I think that for me, it would be maybe not at a park icon, again, speaking to crowds and like how busy it is. Although, maybe you do want to propose by something that is going to be there forever. Does that make sense? Because then you can always, when you go back, kind of celebrate that moment. So it's a tough call because you want to have something that is memorable and will be there, but you don't want to be surrounded by a lot of people.
Do you know what comes to mind, actually? And this would be really hard to plan out. So it's really specific. But I bet Disney would do it for you if you ask somebody. Do it on the Skyliner. Do it on the Skyliner, going to Epcot or something. And so you are uniquely doing it in the air, right? You're proposing in the air. How many times does that happen? It's somewhere that's really magical and beautiful. Mm-hmm. The scenery is great. And then when you land, you'll be engaged.
Perfect. And then maybe you could tip one of the operators. And if your intended doesn't say yes, maybe you just have them stop the Skyliner until they do say yes.
Yeah, I guess if if it's a proposal that's gone wrong, then that will be a very awkward rest of the trip of the Skyliner. Just sitting there.
Yeah, I'd say if you want to be by something memorable, we've talked about Discovery Island being a great place to propose at Animal Kingdom because there are so many little quieter moments where you can still be close to the Tree of Life. So that icon will be there. You can always return to it and kind of relive the experience. If you have a favorite restaurant that you feel will for sure be there for years to come, I think that's a great choice too, because it can be romantic. You can still be celebrated by tables around you. Maybe you'll get a free drink or dessert or something because of the experience. And then also kind of have that very memorable evening.
Yes, I like this. So many options. Here are two things you should consider for before or after the engagement, I guess, is that you can pre-order a PhotoPass photographer to take pictures of you on your special day. So if you want to pre-order that after you propose, then you can take these really magical, lovely photos of the two of you together. And you can also have catering come to your room while you're in the parks and set up a little party for you as well. A bottle of wine, maybe some flowers, some balloons, some Disney treats. That would be a really fun thing to come back to.
Great suggestions, Patrick. You know what I just thought of that made me actually get a little teary was, what if it happened, again, you'll be around people, but what if it happened immediately at the conclusion of a fireworks spectacular so that like you went down on one knee and like your intended turned to you and you had that moment at the end of the night when you're just wrapping up? I think that would be really beautiful.
That would be beautiful. And boy, oh boy, is the castle gorgeous right after the fireworks display, that really lovely rose-colored tint that they put on it.
Or it could be like when you're leaving the park at the end of the night and there's very few people around and you say, I just have like one more special surprise to kind of cap off this day of magic. And then you get down on one knee. I'm getting weepy. Am I turning into a romantic?
Who would have ever thought? So we've given you a million ideas, none of which are great. But, you can do it in the beginning of the day, do it at the end of the day, do it in the middle of the day on the Skyliner.
The stalled Skyliner just baking in the Florida heat.
Romance.
And Tweedles, you are much smarter than either Patrick or I, so write in with your ideas and we'll pass them along to Dan.
Yes, absolutely. And Dan, be sure to follow up with us.
Let us know how we won your engagement for you.
All right, we have time for a couple of more questions. Let's move on to Rodri, who's on Instagram at ohmyrod. Boy, do I love that name. Rodri asks a couple of questions, actually, and I'm going to read all of them because I think we can answer them pretty quickly. One is, will Adam ever watch the Disney catalog?
Rude.
Oh, Rodri, you're my new best friend. But in reality, Rodri asks, what has been your favorite thing about doing the podcast, and what segment has been your favorite over the last 150 episodes?
Wow, Rodri. My favorite thing about doing the podcast, very easy to answer, is being able to connect with Patrick, especially now that we're farther away from each other on a weekly basis, and talk about Disney.
That is not my answer. That is not my answer. No, yeah, obviously that. I'll add on to that. It's also, I think, doing this, knowing that we have established these miniature friendships with all of you, our listeners. We've connected with so many really, really amazing people and have, in fact, made some lasting friendships because of the podcast. So I think that has been an unexpected highlight of doing the show.
Yeah, there's also an added bonus of being on Instagram and getting people posting pictures where they tag people they've met via the podcast. So like people they run into the parks and they recognize their Instagram handles, because we always love to give out those so people can connect. And so they get these, images posted where people say, connected with so-and-so at the park today because of GDTD. That is so satisfying.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great call out. It is so fun to see. We absolutely have to schedule a parks meetup one of these times. Everyone knows that we're going to be there for the 50th anniversary. I know they're hard tickets to get right now, but reach out to us. We really do genuinely mean this. We love meeting you in the parks. It's such a special moment of our trip when that happens.
And so special for you, too.
It's such a treat for you that you will always have that, going forward.
Just a sweaty hug from me and Patrick.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so we also have to answer, what has our favorite segment been over the last 150 episodes?
That's really tough to say. I will say I've always had fun whenever we have our friends on as guests. So like when Ben and Amanda have been on and we've had like a trip report where all four of us have gone, or just Ben and Amanda have gone, because I think Tweedles, you get a good sense of our relationship and our dynamic. And it's just fun to have a larger friendship conversation going on the podcast.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's when we do more conversational episodes. Specifically, we just introduced recently the Tea Party episodes where we sort of pick some topics and just talk about them. I think it's much more casual, and you get to hear us being us, if that makes sense. Not that we're fake on the podcast ever, but I really like the more conversational, less educational episodes, if that makes sense.
More conversational, less educational.
Who am I, Betsy DeVos?
Patrick, that was fantastic.
Thank you so much. That being said, though, ironically, my favorite thing to prepare for is the This Week in Disney History. I really, really love finding those nuggets of information.
And I love that segment because I have to do nothing but listen and learn.
Well, listen anyways. You don't learn too much.
All right, moving on to Dana Marie, who you can find on Instagram at Dana Marie G. Dana Marie asks, if you had to spend 24 hours riding one park ride repeatedly, including brief meal and bathroom breaks, what would it be?
My practical self says that maybe the People Mover might be the easiest one to do for 24 hours.
Lovely. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. But my adventurous side goes, can I ride Rock and Roller Coaster for 24 hours?
I would love to know what that would do to your brain.
I would probably lose a lot of weight because I'd be throwing up so much.
Wow, you went for intensity. You actually went for like the least intense and the most intense.
It's true. I contain multitudes,
I would say either for me, it would be like the Disneyland Railroad, where you're getting a beautiful view of the park, just a nice kind of ride through the park, or obviously, sorry, repeating myself, but the Haunted Mansion.
That's true. Although when you get stuck on the Haunted Mansion, it is a nightmare sometimes because it gets stuck for a long time. I would dread that.
I don't know if I would.
In the graveyard scene, it's real annoying.
That's a good point, with those little like popping up things screaming at you. That would be a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But it is a relaxing ride. I will say that.
Relaxing and spooky.
Well, let's move on to another voice memo. What do you say, Adam?
Let's do it.
Let's hear from Parker.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Patrick. It's your favorite Tweedle Parker here, calling in to wish you a very happy 150 episodes. Whoop, whoop. Now, rumor on the street says you guys like to receive voice memos. So, in honor of this momentous occasion, I have decided to give to you my voice and a question to go along with it. Are you ready? Well, even if you're not, sucks to suck, because here it comes anyways. Adam, Patrick, If you had to remove one ride or attraction from each of the 4 Walt Disney World parks, which ones are you going to make sashay away? And give me a brief explanation as to why you are making those choices. All right, really looking forward to your answers. And before I go, I just wanted to say thank you for being your wonderful, wonderful selves. You guys are just true lights in this community. And yeah, you make my drive to work interesting. Let's go with that. All right, anyways, thank you so much and have a good one. Bippity boppity bye.
Oh, Parker. Oh, Parker. You are delicious. Thank you for that amazing, amazing voice memo.
So we're eliminating one ride from each of the 4 Walt Disney World parks. Patrick, what's got to go?
Okay, great. Let's start with Magic Kingdom, shall we? I'm getting rid of Buzz Lightyear's Space Station Spin. Is that what it's called? Space Ranger Spins?
You can't even be bothered to know the official name.
I can't. The Buzz Lightyear ride in Magic Kingdom, it's fine. I don't need it.
Yeah, I actually agree with that choice. I was surprised. I'm going with Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, if that is in fact what it's called in the Magic Kingdom. I know there's like 4 different names depending on what park you go to. I'm choosing that.
Yes, indeed. Okay, this is great. Just rip the Band-Aid off. We're going to go to Epcot next. I am obviously getting rid of the Finding Nemo ride. I hate that ride. That's a strong word. I despise that ride. I just want to kill it.
What is it that doesn't speak to you about that ride?
I just don't think it's very inventive in the storytelling. It's kind of annoying. It's definitely for kids. I get it. There needs to be more kiddie rides in Epcot. But this one, I felt like the Imagineers fell asleep on this one.
Great point. And I will say, as a longtime Epcot goer, I do miss the more just kind of riding through the aquarium ride that was there as opposed to the overlay.
Yeah, fair enough. They did get inventive in that, they're sort of projecting some of the characters into the aquarium, which is kind of a cool effect, but the story behind it just needs to go, and maybe just do that. Maybe just keep it an aquarium ride with some fun Finding Nemo characters throughout it, if that makes sense.
That's a great choice. For Epcot, I'm choosing Mission Space.
Oh yeah, you are not a fan of that ride.
Makes me sick. I don't care for the spinnies. Not even worth it on a storytelling level or a visual level. Buy Mission Space.
Down and dirty. I like it. Okay, we're going to Animal Kingdom next. Boy, what do we get rid of in Animal Kingdom? I don't know.
If this counts, I think I'm going to go with the train that takes you to Rafiki's Planet Watch. Does that count?
I guess it does. Oh, you know what? I can easily get rid of the Triceratops spin.
Oh, that one. That part. What Patrick said. That's the right choice.
AKA not Dumbo.
Yeah, I would have said Primeval Whirl, but already gone.
Yeah, that took care of itself. Oh.
And that leaves us with Hollywood Studios. Patrick, what are we cutting from Hollywood Studios and why?
Ooh, this is a toughie. What are we getting rid of in Hollywood Studios? I wouldn't mind replacing, I guess, with something different, the Indiana Jones experience.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if we can call it an attraction. It's more of a show, I guess, but I'm calling it an attraction. I think it's neat, but I think it's past its prime. I think it just needs to be something else.
Yes, of course. Okay, I'm down to 2. It's either The Little Mermaid stage show.
See, I want to keep that one just because it makes me laugh.
Or, Patrick, I'm surprised you didn't mention this, Alien Swirling Saucers.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with The Little Mermaid. I think it's time.
It is time, but what are we going to do with that enormous Prince Eric wig?
Climb into it and take a nap?
No, I wouldn't. I don't want to get anywhere near that wig. Oh, well, Parker, thank you so much for that question. And thank you for being you. You are a delight.
All right, Patrick, here's a really quick one we can answer. A couple of our Tweedles asked this. We're going to go with Eric, who you can find on Instagram at FatEmoKid. Eric says, I was wondering if you two will be making your way to Disneyland for Gay Days in September. I missed you too on your last trip, and I'd love to say hello from a safe distance if you plan on attending. Getting to meet the real-life inspirations for Cinderella's stepsisters, Anastasia and Drizella, would be absolutely amazing, if not life-changing. Wink emoji.
Thank you for that, Eric. I guess Down and Dirty, no, we're probably not going to be there this year, unfortunately.
I don't think so. I'm sorry to report. I would love to go, particularly because they just announced that amazing lineup. It'd be so fun to see. And then just being in the parks with all of the queer community who attends is so fun. But yeah, right now expenses. I bought a house. That's my excuse. I bought a damn house.
Fair enough. And I'm already going to be in Disney World in August and then again for the 50th anniversary. So it's a little bit too much right now to take another trip, though I really would love to. And I miss Disneyland. I can't wait to go back. Hopefully 2022 is the Disneyland year for me. Well, thank you again, Eric, for that question. Let's move on to another voice memo, shall we? I think we have one more to get to.
Yes, we heard from longtime listener Paul and his partner Doug. Paul is a Patreon member, Patrick.
That's right. Speaking of Disneyland, we met Paul and Doug in Disneyland.
And here is what Paul asks.
Hey, Adam and Patrick. This is Paul, your Tweedledee in the OC, Orange County, California. Congratulations, guys, on 150 episodes. I've loved them all. Yes, I have listened to all 150. Please don't judge me. I look forward to the episodes every single week. It wouldn't be a Monday without a new episode. All 150 have been wonderful. Oh, well, maybe all except that very first episode where you were trying to impersonate NPR reporters. But you guys did find your voice, and it's been wonderful ever since. So, speaking of that first episode, I'm going to offer you a do-over. That brings me to my question. For that first episode, I'd like to know how you would answer today that very first quick D that you had in that first episode. Adam, the question for you was, what is the sexiest ride at the Magic Kingdom? And Patrick, the question for you was, if Disney were to celebrate the first episode of the Gays Do the D podcast, what would the theme song sound like? Sing it for us. Great work, guys. I look forward to another 150 great episodes. Congratulations.
Paul, what a question to end this segment with.
Oh, yeah. I think we have to shut it down with this question.
All right. So my question that you asked me, or did I ask you this? No, you asked me this, right?
Yeah.
What is the sexiest ride in the Magic Kingdom?
I don't even remember asking you that question, but boy, am I funny sometimes.
I have absolutely no recollection. To be honest, we just put together our Best of Quick D episode, and I didn't even bother listening to the first episode because I'm like, there's no way that this would fit into the Best of Quick D. Okay, so what is the sexiest ride in the Magic Kingdom?
I'm curious to know what you said. I can't even remember.
I can't either. I guess what I'm going to say right now is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad?
Okay. All right. Fair.
I wonder if that's the same answer I had. There's a lot of twists and turns. There's thrills. Mm-hmm. There's the prospect of coming across a sexy ghost miner.
You know what? I think this is what you said last time.
Really? Am I the same person as I was so many years ago?
Is that a surprise? Adam hasn't changed.
Okay, so Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is getting me there, so to speak. I love Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Patrick, my question to you was, what was the song that celebrates our first episode?
Sure, yeah. Something about that, about Disney writing a song for us to celebrate. Oh dear. You know what? I think the only correct answer to this is more of a drum roll situation of a song.
God.
Do you know what I mean? It's just a really
God.
Here comes an 8-minute drum roll, everybody. But it's something like Gays Do the D GDTD Gays Do the D. Was that the tag for the song? Unsatisfying.
Yes, that's the tag for the song. That's the tag for this podcast. Unsatisfying.
Gaze to the D. Disappointments.
Paul, what a great question. I have to go back now and listen to what our actual answers were.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious for sure. But thank you. Thank you so much for being a longtime listener, literally from episode number 1. I'm so fascinated how people even find us on. There are so many podcasts out there, and we are so grateful that you guys have found us and you are sticking with us. We really have amazing Tweedles and reaching out to us. I know a lot of people have podcasts that they don't really talk back to their listeners, and that's who we are, right? We love talking to you and hearing from you. So thank you for doing that.
What Patrick said, 100% yes. And there are a number of you who submitted questions that we did not get to. We apologize for that, but we always save the questions for our next Questions and Peter Pantsers segment. See how we keep you listening? We're very sneaky that way. So in our next Questions and Peter Pantsers segment, we will absolutely be sure to prioritize your questions and answer those first.
Absolutely. You can always send them to us. You don't have to wait for us to ask you. Just send us your questions and we will add it to the list. Or who knows, if it's a really good one and it's a hot topic, we will just answer it on the next pod as well. Adam, how can they send us their questions?
You can send us those questions via social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast.
Or you can always send us those emails or the delightful voice memos to info@gazedothed.com. You know, I'm kind of surprised, Adam, that nobody asked the question that I was hoping to get is, when is your last episode going to be? Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
Did I sound like Parker when I said it that way?
Just like Parker.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Or does Parker sound like us?
Stole our look.
He stole my life and my identity. Parker, you're coming for my job. You can have it. Adam, it is time for some Quick D.
Fantastic. I love a little Quick D seg, and that's where we're at in this episode.
Me too. We are plumb out of questions, Adam, so we are going to instead go to a Marry, Kill, Disney Plus, and Chill Quick D segment.
What else could we possibly do but that?
This time around, we are marrying, killing, or Disney Plus and chilling Disney resorts.
Ooh.
Some of you may know that the new Walt Disney World Swan Reserve Hotel is now offering a wedding venue. So we thought, why not marry, kill, Disney Plus, and chill some resorts?
We did think that, and I think we were right to think that.
I think we were. I think we're correct. We're coming correct, as the kids say.
Mm-hmm. So, Patrick, why don't you give me your 3 resorts?
Are you ready? Adam, you don't have a choice, not pausing for an answer. Would you want to marry, kill, or Disney Plus and chill Old Key West, All-Star Music, or the Boardwalk Hotel?
Okay. Well, I'd like to be upfront about things. I like to be honest on this podcast. And I will say I've only ever stayed at one of these resorts, and that is the Boardwalk.
Fair enough.
Now, I have stayed at All-Star Movies, so I'm familiar with that vibe of those resorts, but I have not actually stayed at All-Star Music.
It's the same. It's exactly the same.
Okay. So I'm going to kill, absolutely murder Old Key West.
Get out of here, Old Key West.
I'm sure you're lovely. I believe Olivia's is attached to you, which I hear is a wonderful place to grab a meal and especially breakfast or brunch. So I would love to go to Olivia's at some point. But I have not stayed here, and therefore I absolutely must just slit your throat.
Just lower that limp body down to the ground, moving on.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some chloroform over Old Key West's mouth and just say, shh.
I like it. I'm into this.
I have it all planned out. So that means I'm left with All-Star Music and the Boardwalk to either marry or Disney Plus and chill with. I'm going to marry the Boardwalk.
Yeah, you married that Boardwalk, Adam.
Classy.
Great wedding photos.
Great wedding photos. I've already been inside of it.
Oh. I think that means you can't marry it now.
I need to sample the milk before I buy the cow. You know what I'm saying, Patrick?
You have to make an honest hotel out of it.
That's right. That's right. So absolutely marrying Boardwalk. And that means I'm going to Disney Plus and chill with All-Star Music.
Okay, fair enough. I feel like All-Star Music is easy enough to Disney Plus and chill with you.
Low standards.
You're not the first one that
yeah. Oh, no.
that resort has Disney Plus and chilled with.
Yeah, the tread is off the tires for sure. And great rhythm, though. I will say great rhythm. So, like, the rhythm is there. It's going to get me.
There you go. The rhythm is going to get you. Yeah, I like that. It provides its own background music.
But it's definitely like a bar closed resort. Let's go back to my place.
Plus, it knows what it's doing. It's been around for so long, and many people have been inside of it before you. So it knows what to do.
It is an experienced resort, yes.
Great. I applaud all of these answers. You are correct in all of them.
Thank you so much, Patrick. That means it's time for me to give you my resorts to choose from, and I am giving you the options of Grand Floridian, Contemporary, and Pop Century, Patrick. Two are high class, one is mid class.
How very dare you put them into a class system. I'm going to go ahead and have to murder the Grand Floridian. I'm getting rid of it.
Okay. Wow.
It's time. It's time, Grand Floridian. You've had your day in the sun.
Are you so grand anymore? That's what you're asking.
I'm going to call it the Meh Floridian now.
And it contains the Enchanted Rose, Patrick. This surprises me.
It does. It does indeed. It does. I've made my choice, though. I've made my choice. I think it's time to get rid of something that has been around for far too long to make room for a new Bebe hotel.
Interesting you say that, because technically the Contemporary's been around longer than the Grand Floridian.
Yes, but the Contemporary has made a lot more money, so that's why I'm going to marry the Contemporary resort.
It's always about money with you.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, I'm going to marry the Contemporary. It's a cash cow, and I need that coin. I need to make that coin.
And it's nice to know that your partner will always be up to date. It'll always be like on the cutting edge. That contemporary look will always be in your view.
Ironically, it is the least contemporary resort in Disney's portfolio. But you're right. You're right. Plus, it's got Chef Mickey's, and I love that restaurant.
You have a lifetime of corn dog nuggets.
Corn dog nuggets, Mickey waffles, and The Wave is there. I like that bar as well.
Well, it's not going to be The Wave for much longer, but it's there.
How dare you crush my dreams? And I guess that means I'm going to town on Pop Century.
What is it about pop that makes you pop?
I think it's the idea of getting down and dirty in each of the decades, just seeing what styles and positions were popular in every single decade.
Positions. That will do it for this episode of Gaze Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gazedothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gaze Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast, and submit your questions or show ideas to info@gazedothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See you real soon.